Caleb Foster had learned a long time ago that silence could mean many things. Sometimes it meant peace. Sometimes it meant someone was holding everything together just to keep from falling apart. That morning, standing in the top-floor office of a glass-walled building, he knew exactly which kind it was. He wasn't supposed to be involved. His job was straightforward. Clean, move on, don't get noticed. But when he saw the little girl sitting under the table, something in him stopped. Not out of curiosity, out of recognition. He didn't try to fix anything, didn't rush in. He just lowered himself to the floor where she could see him without feeling trapped. The spinning top wasn't anything special, just something his daughter used to play with. Used to. That phrase sat with him heavier than he liked. Across the room, Eleanor Price stood watching. A woman who had spent her entire career in control of everything around her. Boardrooms, decisions, people. But not this. Her daughter Amelia had gone somewhere quiet inside herself, and no plan Eleanor had could reach her. She was fine this morning, Eleanor said softly, almost to no one, and then nothing. Caleb didn't answer right away. He spun the top again and let the low humming sound settle into the room. Kids don't always fall apart in obvious ways, he said after a moment. Sometimes it's real quiet. Eleanor looked at him. Caleb didn't respond to that directly. Instead, he walked a few steps into the room. Not toward Amelia, just far enough in to be visible. Then he sat down again. Same distance as before. Same easy calm. Familiar. Amelia looked up almost immediately. Not startled, just aware. He gave her a small nod. The kind that says I see you without asking anything in return. She looked down at the spinning top, then back at him. A long pause. Then, slowly, she set it on the floor and gave it a gentle spin. It wobbled, then found its balance. Caleb watched it right alongside her. Nothing more. Across the room, Eleanor settled into a chair. Not stepping in, not analyzing. Just watching. Minutes passed that way. Quiet but not heavy. Then something small happened. Amelia's voice, barely above a whisper. It doesn't fall if you don't rush it. Eleanor went still. Not because of the words. Because she said anything at all. Caleb kept his voice even, careful. Yeah, he said softly. Some things just need time to find their balance. Amelia kept her eyes on the spinning top, but her shoulders dropped just a little. Eleanor pressed her hand gently over her mouth, holding back emotion, careful not to overwhelm the moment. This wasn't something to celebrate out loud. It was something to protect. After a while, Caleb got to his feet. I should get back, he said. Eleanor stood as well. Will you come again? She asked. No authority in her voice now, just a question. Caleb looked at Amelia. She didn't look up, but she didn't pull back either. That was answer enough. I can stop by, he said, simple and real. Not a promise built on obligation, just presence offered again. As he headed out, Eleanor stayed where she was, watching her daughter. Not as a problem, not as something to fix, but as someone learning, slowly and quietly, how to feel safe again. The visits were never put on a calendar. They didn't need to be. Caleb would come through the office the same way he always did. Steady pace, quiet routine, and if Amelia was there, he'd sit for a few minutes. No agenda, no expectations. Just consistency. Over time, the silence between them started to feel different. It wasn't heavy anymore. Felt shared. Amelia began bringing small things with her. A folded piece of paper one day, a pencil the next. She never explained them. She didn't have to. Caleb understood that part. One afternoon, she set a piece of paper on the floor between them. He waited. She nudged it slightly toward him. A drawing. Simple lines, careful shapes. A spinning top in the center. Two small figures sitting across from each other. Caleb smiled a little. Looks familiar, he said. Amelia glanced up for just a second. Not long, but enough. Eleanor watched from her desk, quieter than she had ever been in her own office. She had stopped trying to step in, stopped trying to steer every moment. Instead, She began adjusting something else. Her schedule, her attention, the way she showed up. Not perfectly, but on purpose. Later that evening, as the building emptied out, Eleanor found Caleb near the hallway. "I've been thinking," she said. He waited. "I built my whole life around solving things fast," she continued. "It's how I made it. How I got here." She gave a small, honest smile. "But I think I carried that into the one place where it never should have gone." Caleb nodded once. "Kids don't work on deadlines," he said. Eleanor let out a quiet breath. "No," she said. "They don't." A pause. Then, more carefully, "I don't want to keep leaning on you for this." Caleb looked at her, mildly surprised. "I mean that in a good way," she added quickly. "You helped me see what I was missing, but I have to be the one she reaches for. That's how it should go." "That's how it should go," Caleb said. No hesitation, no sense of losing anything, because he never came to take a place. He came to help make room for one. The next morning felt different, not because everything was fixed, because something had shifted. Amelia was by the window again. The spinning top sat beside her. Eleanor came in slower than usual. No phone in her hand. No urgency in her step. She sat down across from her daughter. Not too close, not too far. Quiet, careful balance. For a moment, nothing happened. Then Amelia picked up the top and rolled it gently across to her. Eleanor blinked. Then, carefully, she spun it back. A small exchange, but real. From the hallway, Caleb caught just enough of it to know. Then he turned and kept walking down the corridor. No reason to stay, because what mattered wasn't what he gave them. It was what they found once he stepped back. And as the soft hum of the spinning top filled the room again, for the first time, it wasn't holding the silence together. It was simply part of it.